you're the reporter for the high school student council. Okay, glad to have you with us as well. All right, that'll get us back in gear. We got, police committee.
Okay, so,
Frazier, Parks Frazier, you got it.
okay, so the first thing we have is an animal control truck. What the chief has asked is that and the mayor, is that the council allow the chief to purchase a truck up to $20,000 without us having to call a special meeting to give him permission, so that when he finds a vehicle, he can purchase it, 20,000 or less. So I make a motion that we give the police chief the ability to purchase an animal control truck for 20,000 or less without calling a special call meeting.
All right, I think I got the motion from, the chairman of the committee and seconded by, Councilmember Atkins. Is there any question or discussion of that motion? This is a committee recommendation, if I understand correctly.
Right.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, none, 1 absent. Go ahead with the other items.
Okay, the dispatch study, the committee is still looking at that, so no action was taken on a dispatch study. We're still looking into that, and the study that was done by Dr. McKee from UAM. The third item that we met about was RV and camper parking. And what the committee, and Mr. Johnson can come in here if necessary.
I'll step up just in case there's a question.
So what we thought, this is gonna be on a case-by-case basis, but the campers and RVs will follow the guidelines given for mobile homes. The campers and RV permits will be reviewed and issued by the planning commission. And this is a case-by-case basis, and it follows the 8.6.2 regulations according to manufactured homes.
So I wanna make sure I understand, everybody else does, so what you're recommending is we amend our ordinances to set this procedure up for, this is talking about RVs and campers now, not talking about full-size mobile homes, there's another procedure for that, but basically, they would go through the same procedure.
Right.
People would have to apply, and, I think you had down there was, won't be a permit fee or anything like
No,
that.
there's no fee, but there is.
They do have to get a permit
Right.
though, and then go to the planning commission, which is our governing body of mobile homes and all that. And it had to say where we're gonna keep this thing parked. And if it's approved, that's where they can keep it parked. Everybody clear on that? Now, they still can't live in it, or rent it out, or do something like that. That's illegal. You can't live in an RV. We got people doing it, trying to do it, and having to come down on it. This is simply for the storage of it, to park it.
And there's setback, Rob, there's setback, policies in place and distance from property lines and things like that, and that's gonna be on a case-by-case basis.
All right, now, council members, if this is something y'all wish to pursue, I would appreciate a vote on it tonight. This will not put it in place. We will have to bring back an ordinance, but I'd like instructions from you, if you want that done.
I move that we move forward with adopting, or ordinance adopting the mobile home clause
Yep.
for RV parking.
That's a motion by Councilmember Atkins, seconded by Mosley. Is there any question or discussion? This would be to authorize us to put an ordinance together, which you,
Question,
yes, sir.
would there be a grandfather clause included in this, or
No,
you going back retroactive with it?
We'd have to make contact with anybody that's got any out there already.
Yeah, cause you know, I
If you
know,
don't have it.
I know some older people that have them that don't have the property or far enough away from the property line, but already have them that is kinda hindered one way or another in that situation. That's the reason why I asked. So, moving forward, if somebody wanted to do it, they'd have to take in consideration that they live in a in a subdivision or something like that, that they already don't have room to do it. Some of them are handicapped, reason why I asked.
Any other discussion? Now, again, nothing's in stone until you adopt an ordinance, and that can be, you know, when you get the ordinance, you can deal with it as you see fit. Amendments, for it, against it, whatever the case may be. Any other discussion? This is just to give the administration directions on what to put together. All in favor, show of hands. I'm gonna see 5 in favor and, 1 absent, so we will get that and bring that back to you. And you're still got one more item there.
Yes, the livestock inside the city limits. Now, this is just gonna be an amendment to an ordinance, right? I mean, cause we've already got an ordinance on,
I think that'd be
on the
correct,
books.
yes.
So this is just gonna be an amendment.
Yes.
So it's, what we came up with is no person shall anywhere in the city keep, harbor, or maintain care, custody, or control over any small or large hoofed animals without obtaining a permit by the Warren City Building and Code Director. There's no cost for the permit. The animal control officer, and the city clerk, they're gonna may grant a permit pursuant to this section after the applicant has sought the written consent of the property owners adjoining the applicant's real estate. The written consent shall be required on their first application for the permit. And then as often as, if they move the animal or the animal is moved, then it's gonna be required again. But if the written consent of the neighbors is only gonna be the first time they apply for the permit. Then if the owner of the animal is issued 2 citations within a 365 day period, the city has the right to request the removal of the animal. Okay, and the permit follows the animal, not the property, if that makes sense. So if an owner moves the animal to another property and receives another citation, then that still can be 2 citations for that one, and the city can request the animal be removed. But we think this, and that we're not grandfathering anybody in, because we've had complaints about horses and goats in town, but we already have some on the ordinance, like no pigs, roosters.
I think that's basically
Think
what
that's
we
it.
have right
So,
now.
yeah.
That are not allowed, period.
Right, that are not allowed, period. But then there's other things that can control animals, like the nuisance. Then the health department can get involved. But this is what we feel, this is the easiest solution, since we did have citizens come during the last meeting and that live on the outskirts of the city, and they may have 40 acres, that the bypass and made them come into the city, but then we have people that have a horse in a ½ acre in their backyard that goes into their neighbor's backyard. So we figured a case, and there's not like, there's hundreds of complaints, but each case needs to be looked at case by case.
And may I ask a question?
Yes, sir?
Council members have anything, but I want just to ask now, you say the written, excuse me, in the second paragraph there, after the applicant has sought the written consent of the property owners adjoining the applicant's real estate, so that's the immediate property owners
That's the
on
immediate
all
neighbors.
4 sides, I
Yes.
guess, of,
Mhm.
okay, and if they okay it, then it don't have to go to anybody else to be approved.
Yeah, they still have to be issued a permit.
Well, I got that, but there's no legal body like the RVs where they gotta
No,
get it
no,
approved
sir.
by the
No,
planning
no.
commission.
If the neighbors all
If they
agree,
have, that we determine, the administration determines that if proper folks have signed, okay, then we can issue a permit to the,
right, and if there's no immediate neighbors, then that part, that, you know, there's no way to continue to have the neighbors write a letter. But that's when Rob would go out and say, okay, there's no immediate neighbors, that process can't be done, and issue the permit.
and this is again a recommendation of the committee,
Yes, sir.
all right? But once it be kind of like the last one we just did, if y'all see fit to approve this, we will again have to come back with an amended ordinance, so it's open for a motion or a discussion.
move
You
that,
making a motion?
I'm making a motion.
Okay, I'm sorry. Good.
I move that we, amend the current livestock ordinance to include, the said large and small group animals
Okay.
with the, other expectations.
With the stipulations laid out there by the committee, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I got a motion from, Councilmember Atkins and a second from Mosley. Now, council members, again, you're not adopting this yet, you're just granting your,
Can't without an ordinance.
you're simply telling us what you want us to put together. Question or discussion on that?
Question.
Yes, sir.
As Alderman Frazier stated, we already have certain guidelines and other organizations that address these situations. And my concern going forward is when we make ordinances, how they're going to be enforced. We have so many ordinances now that it's just like trying to catch a cat's tail to enforce it. You know, just simply of the, say the noise ordinance. You know, I've had so many, nothing ever done. Or unlicensed, undrivable car ordinance, where we started out where we was gonna go street by street and clean all that up, and it's still a blight to us. And then we got another ordinance coming up where we're gonna be burning trash in ditches, and I just see them running rampant, still doing this thing. And then we heard the people that's supposed to be enforcing say y'all don't have the time to do it, or they don't have the inclination, or they just not catching them doing it.
Are we total free, or are you telling me that the police department, fire department are not responding to this and not taking any action if they do?
Well, I'm just saying, it just,
I need to know that if they are.
it's just as plain as the eye can see all these dilapidated cars and stuff that's just littering the city.
Well, let me respond to that, because we've moved over 60 of them, I think, since January. We do only have so much time to work on that,
My
but we
point
are doing it
Yeah,
still.
that's my point exactly.
We are doing it, and as far as the noise ordinance and and of course you got the nuisance ordinances and that kind of stuff. The nuisance ordinance, if it's a health issue, the health department's called in, and they can shut them down or fine them.
I've even
And
seen
we
the
can
thing
also
where we
issue, I'd like to explain this, because this is, make sure people understand how this works. We can issue ordinances, tickets for noise, and we do, if you read your police report on a monthly basis. Now, in most cases, that has to be done by a citizen that says this is happening, and they sign an affidavit and bring it to the police department, and we issue the citation based on the information given by the property owner, and it goes to municipal court. And we do it all the time. Now, we have people sometimes that won't do that. They want us to do all of it and them not be, involved in it. Well, if it's something like that, unless our police officer or fire chief, in the case of the burning illegal, unless they see it, they can't just go write a ticket. But if a person is willing to, in effect, file a complaint, say they're violating the law, then that's the way we do it. And chief, if I'm saying something incorrect here, you correct me. And fire chief also, because we've tried to come down on the illegal burning. Once again, people are not supposed to be burning out there unless they've got a permit to burn in a certain location in a certain safe manner. Of course, we have bound, as Alderman Toll-Free said, we have banned burning in city ditches and right-of-ways and that type of thing. If we catch people or it's called in, we do try to respond. So I just want everybody to know that. It's kind of like catching speeders. You don't catch them all, but you you try. Does that help any with information?
And let me tell you, Mr. Johnson was at our meeting when we talked about the campers and, I asked him specifically, didn't wanna overload him. And so before we, talked about moving forward with this, going into the mobile home and issuing permits, I said, I don't wanna put too much more on you, and he said it would be okay, so.
Mr. Johnson, if the administration says that's what we're gonna do, it's not gonna overload you, is it?
I asked, we asked.
I'm picking at
I'll
you.
fill the courtroom up there.
Okay, did we vote on that, or we still talking?
We was in the
I'm sorry.
question.
All right, I'm sorry, did I answer your questions, Mr. Toll-Free?
Oh, we
Help some?
are concurrent on the things that we're saying.
I know.
I was just making a fact, and the citizens get frustrated, and
Yes.
then when you ask them to come forward, and they say, well, they don't wanna get involved, and they don't wanna cause problems, and then we just steady going around, and then it's kinda make us look bad when the folks don't understand the process.
Points well taken, sir. Points well taken. All right, I don't think we voted, have we? All right. Last call.
Call for the vote.
Call for the vote. This is on, the livestock inside city limits. All in favor, show of hands. I see 4. Any opposed? 1 opposed, 1 absent. So we will bring an ordinance
And
back.
just for clarity, this does not go into effect until the ordinance is brought back and approved by the city council. It can be approved up or down on both of them.
Or amended.
Or amended, from the information that is printed in the ordinance.
All right. Y'all through with the police chief?
We don't want you to look at that.
I'm through with it for now, if you want to go on about your business.
It really isn't that bad.
It's not.
No, I mean, some of the things that's listed, are things that I do for my vehicles.
Right, because you notice the majority of that is gonna have a control truck also.
Maybe we'll get a new one.
I knew you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
You
bring
don't
in,
have very much money to spend.
You said he'd make
Fire
that work,
chief,
he's gonna
come on.
have a raise.
folks, I'm gonna try to speed this up. I know we always get, my fault. I'm sorry we're going long, but some of this stuff needs to be pointed out. Fire chief,
Good evening.
report.
Indeed.
You can see the Warren Fire Department funded 10 calls during the month of October. We filled out two to the entire department. One was structure fire, one was an extrication call. We had our monthly meeting at October the 2nd, meeting and training, 24 members present. We have received our new air packs that we got on the grant, but we're waiting on the compressor and the filling station so we can transition over to our new stuff. So that's all I have on the report.
Why don't you go ahead, they may wanna ask a question about something. Why don't you go ahead and talk about this, mentor,
And,
agreement we reached with.
myself and the mayor met with the fire chief from Lake Village, and the mayor from Lake Village was not there, but he is approved of this, agreement, I guess you would say, for a mentor. And the man, Mr. Sammy Angel from Lake Village, fire chief down there, and I think he was former state representative and been the fire chief there for many years, so with my 35 years, his 25 years, we're gonna combine that and put our heads together and bounce ideas off each other. And I've already benefited just from talking to him a few times, so I encourage all of y'all, if y'all don't have a mentor, you need to get one yourself.
I'm sure you don't mean that about the mayor, but,
You're the only one, you need to for us, sir.
I have a bunch already, I promise you, so.
I would encourage everyone.
That was a joke, folks, that was a joke, okay?
I don't think it was a joke. I think he was serious.
All right, he may have been.
Were you serious?
Yes, ma'am, I think everyone needs a mentor. Everybody can learn something from somebody.
You got one.
I have one too.
All right, any questions for the fire chief on anything he's reported on or something else that you need to ask?
No, but I think it's an excellent choice as it relates to the mentor. And you are correct. The mentor will learn from you, you will learn from the mentor, and you will find that things will be very smooth, and you will appreciate it in the future.
Absolutely. And I would just like to say, Alderman told free about the burning in the ditches. I went to two this week that were pointed out to me by a telephone call. So, if anybody, if you see someone, call the fire station. If I'm not there, I'll send somebody and we will go talk to them. Everybody's been cooperative. The ones I've talked to, like, I had no idea. Yes, we can just get up here, get out of the ditch, and they're real, you know, if they work with me, I'll give them one chance. If I have to go back, we're gonna get a ticket. So, yes, sir, but I just encourage you, like I said, if you see somebody, call us, 'cause
Along with that night burn.
right, we
Yes,
are
sir.
everywhere.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
sir.
sir, we get that quite regular,
Yeah, that's true too.
and most of those don't have a permit. That's when we issue a permit, but I didn't know how to do this, and I'm like, well, if you get a permit, you know you're not supposed to burn that car. So it's a constant battle.
All right, thank you, Chief. Thank you, council members. Sanitation, Mr. Johnson.
If I may.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
If I
sir.
may.
Yes, sir.
You know, since, on this past year, we've been working on things like the mentor for the chief and other aspects that we've been working with, and I'm glad to see them go into effect. And, I know December is kind of a iffy month for everybody, especially if they got family members and have jobs that it's hard to get together. But I would like for us to kind of keep in our heads, the ones on the fire committee, that after the first of the year in January, for us to have a fire committee meeting to see where we are.
Yes, sir.
And then to plan ahead on see the things that, other things that we wanna try to accomplish through the fire department to serve the community.
Mr. Belfry, you are certainly welcome to call one anytime you need to. Just let us know, and we'll be glad to do that for all the committees. Yeah, yes.
I've got a question, not a question, but a suggestion. I know that the minutes are in, most published, like the Sling River Chronicle, and the minutes are in the meeting, summaries from the city council meeting.
Not necessarily the minutes, but
I mean,
reports. on the
reports,
meetings,
sorry.
Yes.
But if we could, like, remind people this time of year about burning, if there
Sure.
could be taken out, like,
I think the chief has already asked us to put some stuff out
Okay.
about that, which we need to get done.
because
That's
I know
good.
when I moved it back into the city limits, I didn't know you had to have a permit to burn. So things like that.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And also, that's why it's very important that we get our website
Yes, ma'am.
up and have those items there.
We're fixing to put that specific thing we were talking about in the staff meeting, last week, as a matter of fact, so we're.
And
Right,
then next
yeah.
to ordinance, that's already, there, et cetera.
You bet, you bet. Okay, this is sanitation manager, Mr. Johnson, this deal with solid waste, anything you need to report on that?
Everything's good, Mayor. As far as I know, there's not any problem in the sanitation department. We do have a long-time employee, Mr. P.J. Vise, that is in the hospital, and, right now, to my knowledge, he is in rehab. Hopefully he'll return. He's been with the city a little over 23 years, and he's been heavily missed these last 2 weeks that he's been up there. You don't know PJ, he's a real good guy. He's a kidder and a fun guy to be around. But, appreciate all of you that have, mentioned him and checked on him. We hope for his full return. We are advertising for a part-time fill-in, just for the time being, just to see where it's headed. So we don't know.
Excellent employee, we do miss him. All right, any questions on solid waste? The sanitation committee, Councilmember Atkins chairman, I think we've got the same two things on your committee we've had a while, so really, I'm not aware of anything we need to act on.
Nothing else?
Anything else you wanna bring up?
No, sir.
Okay.
I received a call from 2 people on Poquet, that is, and I refer to the house up where Janice, Smith used to live, the trailer that is there, the lady across the street called, she was supposed to be here at the meeting. But anyway, they're saying that someone is renting that trailer and have moved in. Do you have any knowledge?
Well,
of
yes,
that?
ma'am. Ms. Marshall called me, and she's the one that gave me that I needed to go by Coquette and check it out. Did the investigation, found out it is owned by a person that doesn't live here in town. being rented, and under doing some more investigating, I had found that they've had this problem in the past, from this particular person. So what I have done, my office has sent a letter to him, telling him that he must report to my office by such and such date. I believe actually the date is this Friday. I have talked to the residents in the home. They are right now trying to buy this mobile home from the owner, under a contract, which is not legal because it hadn't been approved by the, but it's dated back. The mobile home was originally put in place in 1995 for Mr. Clary. Was the first one that applied for it and got approved. Since then, I know it changed hands in 2012 or somewhere along there on my record. It may be, and since then, there's been like 11 different residents based on the water bill that have been issued to that address. And then I have been told, being back here now, going on my second year, that, this has been a problem in the past. It's nothing that.
Same owner, same owner.
I informed the people that were buying the contractor situation, and that I wasn't blaming them, they don't know. The city can cut all utilities and stuff like, we don't wanna do that either. I've turned it over to I've sent a letter to the person that owns the property, which is Mr. Greg Hatley, and, I'm waiting on response.
All right, I'll pass that on.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Question,
Yes, sir.
did he come to the,
Yes.
right here?
Yes, sir,
And
he
we
sure did.
explicitly pointed
He's
that out.
told every bit of this in the past.
Another thing. about
Yes, he
the
has.
Yeah.
We're gonna take whatever action we ultimately have to, but we are trying to be fair to the people that are living there, not just kicking them out on the street. But this is not gonna stand. I have to
It's another thing.
take some
Mr.
legal
Tolbert,
action.
It's another thing, Mr. Tolbert, that's fell through the cracks on this particular department because of all the duties, I guess the word might be, of this department.
Yep.
And you're correct on some of the things that can get done. The mobile home deal, you're required every 2 years to check the resident that lives there. Flag pops up, Ms. Smith has lived at 112 Main Street, she was the one approved. 2 years from now, you go back to 112 and see if Ms. Smith's there.
I feel,
Okay, now, you put that in a 20-year thing, it becomes overwhelming to do that and to try and do everything else. I'm trying now to set one day aside for mobile homes, for just this policy. But I'm also finding some that are in violation right now that's gonna be difficult.
it's a lot.
We'll have to be, we can't set any precedents, so whatever we do, we're gonna have to do to all. So when I bring them to you, we're gonna have to do what's on the books. On what, no matter how long they've been there, we just now finding out that that's beside the point. Originally, when you come get a mobile home permit, it has all the rules and regulations on it, and you have to sign for it. And it states that it will be checked every 2 years, and you cannot sell the property without first coming back in front of the planning commission. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just hard to keep it all, tracked.
It's a lot.
Did I
Well, it's a lot.
understand you to say that the rent to own would not fall within the procedure?
No, ma'am, I did not, if it sounded like that, he's not renting it, he is buying it with a contract to Mr. Hackett. He's not renting it at all, he informed me real quick, he was not renting, that he was
purchasing.
buying in a contract. Yes, ma'am.
The problem
But
is, it's still legal for those folks to live in it without them getting the,
First.
approval.
First.
That's the problem.
And we caught 2 or 3 because we took them back to the planning commission and made them redo the permit. Because a lot of times the neighborhoods change. The people that approved them the first time have left, and now the people that are there now don't want them anymore. Now, that's happened 2 times since I've been back, these last 2 years, that we did catch them. And we're flagging them now at the water office, that when, I may be giving away a secret, If you change the name on the water bill and it's a mobile home, a red flag pops up. And
And we'll
that's how we investigate. We're working together with the water office. So, but that's the way it is now. We
Well,
just
it was a long drawn out, procedure the last time.
Yes, it was.
Right. That's what I'm finding out. I found
So what's, the issue now is the residents around it have changed, or
Yeah,
you're
it
complaining?
has, even over there, the residents have
Okay.
changed, because she sold her house, but the lady across the street is still there, so. yeah.
Okay,
So he's going to come back to me and reapply for a permit,
Right.
and then we'll go from there. Because he's not actually supposed to have it, because he never came for approval anyway. The only person that's been approved to actually live there was Miss Clary back in '95.
Any other questions for the, we're in building official land, so is anything else there that, you got a report in your file
We've
in
got,
your packet?
we've got some properties, that we need to,
Okay, well, let's get anything else, any question on the building official's regular report? Now, you got some properties that you're moving on to get cleaned up, right?
yes, sir, and we've got some that's been held over, that it's, I believe, two of them are trying to come back, the one at 521 Rock, and the one at,
504 Rock?
it
Oh.
may be.
Oh, okay, it's on this page, it's not on letterhead, that's
Okay.
what he's looking at. All right, now, what are those for? Tell them what, 1, 2, 4, what are those, have those been
Well,
condemned?
hold it. Let me get this straight. These are the letters that have been sent out. Everything on these four here, the Jason Reed, Rodney Jenkins, Ben Al, and Nicole, they have all started in the process of cleaning up. So,
None of those have been
None of them
ordered
are.
cleaned
no,
up,
no.
you
I've
just
got
sent
another,
notices.
I've got another property on Rock that we're discussing, that, that's where I said it wrong.
That's just for your information, that stuff he's just recently
Yeah.
started working on, right?
Yeah, and they've all, since the letters were sent, they have all started doing stuff on all these.
Then the 4 under the condemnation list, update those for everybody.
Okay, the 407 Turner, if you'll go by there, you'll look and see some improvements being made on Turner and Central. Since y'all condemned, we discussed some more stuff with the owner, and, they're moving forward with the property, and, replacing boards, getting it brought back up to code, and, gonna do a pretty good remodel, on painting, and, hopefully it will, turn around.
It's coming along?
It's coming right along, and there's about 5 properties in that area that the city's enforced that is really, that's coming around. The property across the street changed the subject on Central and Fullerton, if you see that. We made contact with the owner out in California, told her we were gonna, condemn the house, so forth and so on, and she was looking for someone to buy. And we found an owner, we found a guy that would be willing to buy it if the price was right, which is the house directly behind that house on Central. And he did buy it, and he's cleaning that house up, and he's cleaning the house up that he's in. And since then, he bought another house on Reed Circle, and he's cleaning that one up. And, it's really looking pretty good over in that neighborhood, if you hadn't been over there, in a while. It's made a good change, going very positive direction.
Rob, go over each one of these 4, just briefly, and
Okay.
tell them what the status is. I mean, the 4
407
that's on the
Turner, we
agenda.
talked about 108 Central, 108 Central, we cleaned up, we mowed, and we're leaving it right there from now, because I've had a lot of interest shown on buying.
Will we be putting liens on that if they don't pay?
Oh,
If we
yes,
did,
sir.
we had to do that.
Oh, yes, sir, we'll
Okay.
do all that.
All right. 407 Turner,
Yes, sir.
is that the one you're already talking about?
Yes, sir, we already talked about it.
504 Rock.
504 Rock, yes, sir, that's up to y'all.
That's
That,
it.
that was one that was postponed to see what he did.
There's
What did he
good
do?
progress.
Alvin Topher, that's in your report.
Have you looked at that one, Mr. Oldfree,
Well,
lately?
nah, I seen he made some kind of effort, but I didn't know how Rob had told him to do to get the rest of it cleaned up, even if he.
He came and asked us for a little more, he came to see me.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, so I
And
didn't
he
know.
told me he was gonna start working on it. And I think maybe he's done a little bit.
He got to a point and it stopped.
But hadn't much more been done, it's still in bad shape.
But that's the thing about it is, we hadn't removed the initial deal, so you don't have to go back and rework it.
No, we can enforce it.
Yeah, that's what I said, so it's up to y'all to go ahead on
You know,
and
we
do it if
can-
he
we
come
can
ask
do
for
it.
a thing, cause that's one thing, we hadn't cleared it off the books.
That's right. Y'all already condemned that piece of property.
Yes, we have.
So we could pursue, we were trying to work with them. And, if we're not, I would suggest that we go back, see him, and try to figure out what's gonna happen or what's not gonna happen, and then if he's not gonna do anything or can't do anything further, then we're gonna have to proceed.
Yeah, cause we don't have to go back through the process.
All right, Phillip Street, Rob, 1007
Yeah,
Phillips.
that's, Jacob's property that was, gave 90 days, I believe was, 90 days extension to get his property brought up to code. I looked at it, y'all all looked at it, don't tell me,
He's coming along, he's still working on it. He's doing an excellent job. That log truck, trailer and all that stuff is going off the side of the road and cleaned up and.
Y'all's option is to, tell us you're satisfied,
No, just don't take it
or
off.
give another extension,
Give
you
us
can
this.
do that.
Yeah, let's don't take it off.
how long now?
I need y'all to
Give me-
tell me that.
We've got several vehicles on the property that need to be removed.
Yeah, he done moved something in, but like I
Yeah,
said,
they
about
have been,
remove.
it's only about 3 on there now. I don't know why the dirt is there, but,
He was gonna use that for filler in the spots. That's what I-
30-day extension.
I was gonna say a month.
Can I get that in a motion so we,
Can
we
we say
will
that
so
by
instruct.
common consent?
Yeah,
By common consent.
All right. By common consent, that means the 5 here agree to that. 30 more days, and they'll
Yeah.
allow us to, and we'll certainly try to, let them know.
And when you go back over, do you just share, okay, you have done this, and then tell them what else that, to meet these standards?
Case by case.
Because they have moved a lot of stuff.
Yes, we can do that.
They have
we can
moved
do
a
that.
lot of
The
stuff.
city, the city's not out to be mean to anybody, but no. we do-
And the neighbors have even helped, other people, people that live on that street have helped as well.
We'll make suggestions to them what else
And in
they
the
need to do.
community.
We'll make suggestions to them what else they need to do.
I'd like to second what Rob said, the city's not trying to be mean, we just gotta clean it up.
Yeah, we offer our if you bring it to the road, we'll haul it off, so if you got somebody in your yard to get it to the road, that's it. We'll haul it off. Please don't put it in my red dumpster, I'm just throwing it in. Okay, just set it beside the dumpster, I'll pick it up.
Okay, let's try to, yes, sir, Mr. Oldfree.
One more thing, I had a complaint the other day since he brought that up, don't throw it in the dumpster. This guy, went to, throw some trash away in the dumpster, and somebody jumped up out of the dumpster and they were sleeping in it.
It's very likely the same folks who are having trouble with on property on North Martin Street, but I can't absolutely promise you that. But I've had other complaints of finding people, not only in their dumpsters, but, I had one today. A businessman went through it, the only trouble was they dumped everything else out on the ground, got what they wanted, and then I think they hauled it back to a certain location on North Martin Street, which is now the replacement location for what was on West Pine Street.
In the yard, it's full of.
It was on Howard.
Yes, same people, same group of people. It is rental property, the Martin Street, I'm just putting this out publicly like it is. It's rental property and the owner cannot get rid of it. They have no utilities. They are salvaging some way or the other, everything they get their hands on, and are piling it back in front of that. If you've driven by, you know where I'm talking about. Nobody has to ask. And, we're gonna have to come down on this, and the judicial system's gonna have to do something about it. First time in my career in this seat that I've ever said anything out loud about the judicial system, but this has done got ridiculous. And we're dealing with some people that have some issues, but they're living in they're trespassing, and the man's trying to get them evicted, and he hasn't been able to get that done yet.
Mr. Topher, the owner of this property has offered the people living there $500 a piece to get out. No, we serious.
No.
And they won't leave.
And this is done got to the people of the city of Warren, in every neighborhood has gotten ridiculous. And it's time to start doing, I know y'all are trying, you're doing stuff. This is a tough one, because we're trying to take legal action, and we still can't get anything done.
And we're scheduled to clean up this property Friday, just to let y'all know, this Friday, it will.
And then next month, y'all come back, and we talk about what's there next. Because it'll be right back like it was, I promise you. I know I'm getting a little bit fired up here.
Unleashed dogs.
This is ridiculous. And not fair to the people of this town. Any neighborhood, anybody.
I thought about that for everybody driving in from the football, from
Oh, yeah.
playoffs.
Going right to McDonald's,
Right by it, I'm thinking,
Yep,
that's not a representation of our
it's
town.
not good at all, but besides that, it's just wrong,
Oh, yeah.
and it's illegal.
Okay.
Would you like to make a comment on Mosey? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off base, but this is getting to be a personal thing with me as mayor. It's not right. And it's time something be done about it, and we're trying, we are trying, and I know the city council's trying. I'm just not aiming at y'all by any means. It's what we can legally do and what we can't do, but something's gotta be done. And there's really only about 4 or 5 people involved in that. This is not everybody in town. This is a handful of people that this is going on. Now, we have other properties that need to be cleaned up, and I'm talking about that particular situation, which is Alderman Bert Frazier should have pointed out. This is the 3rd location over a period of years that we've dealt with this.
What's the address? I mean, what street are we talking about?
I can't take any public comments right now, I'm sorry. It's on North Martin Street. You can't miss it. You can't miss it, I promise you. Just drive up that way, you'll see what we're talking about. It stands out. All right, any questions for Rob on, did we vote on the 30 days, or y'all said by consent? I think that's the first time I've ever had that done to me in 20 years, so, but I'll take it, we'll take it. Is it? Okay, I hadn't read the rules in a while, but we hadn't done that.
And look at the 12th edition.
I'll accept it, I'll accept that, we'll, have it in the minutes that way. Rob, I cut you off, I'm sorry. But, Rob is working on these things, folks, he is working on it. And we're getting rid of a lot of these cars that are not licensed, not runnable. We've hauled over 60, if I've got my count right, but there's lots more.
We got 5 this month so far.
Yeah. We're following the law, we're following the law.
It's hard to tell.
The law is a little bit easier to get rid of those than it is some of this other stuff, but we are following, okay?
Will somebody buy those cars?
I'll be glad to fill you in later. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Rob? And we'll go, the street foreman is on vacation. And, I'll just tell you again, I'm sorry, Mr. Topher.
I kind of just fluffed up on this and sometimes it just override because I just have on my mind the money that we're spending to correct some of these, local city streets, and then seem like it's in vain, cause we have these log trucks and heavy equipment going down the road. I had a complaint on St. James Street where a guy owns a log truck on there, is bringing his loads in every evening.
Can you give me the location?
I'll get it from you.
You'll do that?
Yes, I will.
We can't stop him from carrying his log truck home empty, but we can, stop him from carrying it home loaded.
Thank you.
And we're also having trouble with people in the logging business running their logging operation out of their yards in residential areas, and we're trying to crack down on that. Thank you, Ms. Tolfree, you get that to us, we'll sure check on it. We're still waiting on the street pavers, you wanna make any comments,
Well,
to finish up the chip and seal?
so far is down. The chip and seal, I already said it wrong. That's may have to wait maybe after the first of the year because of weather. There's temperature involved in it. So we're partly through, but not completely. We most definitely are gonna have some money left over to go on.
I would suggest the committee go ahead and,
Get started.
start coming up with the next list,
Okay,
so we can be ready to go on that whenever we can,
okay.
once we know exactly what we got left.
I will get a meeting together.
All right, anything else from anybody? Community Economic Development Committee, Councilmember Marshall is not here.
She asked if I would just.
Yes, ma'am, you're recognized.
Just to give you a summary, the, Community and Economic Development Committee met on November the 13th. The administration, our mayor, gave us an update as it relates, the, industrial park and possible, projects that's being, worked upon. He also shared information, that he was working with, AFA. And, the number 2 item was the, privacy fencing that was postponed. And there was, a recommendation from, one of the committee members that, the Bryant Building parking lot, that we accept, recommendations from the public as to what they think, should be there. One action item, and that is, the chair is asking that the administration put out, get some quotes on putting up a fence on the, parking lot of the Bryant Building so that the building that is not so pleasant, is not seen.
That'd be on the west side of the
On the west
property,
side.
yes, ma'am.
So I move that quotes be secured, for a privacy fence to go up on that property.
Second.
Okay, motion made, seconded by Mr. Tolfree, any question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, thank you,
And that ends her report.
thank you. Well, you're still up, so ways and means now, Alderman Henderson, so you're recognized for that one.
We're going to move very swiftly. On your agenda, you will find, 9 items that are listed. The first one is that of the Arkansas Municipal League, Defense, Fund. And we definitely take advantage of that, each year. In your packet, you should see the actual, dollar amount. And I move that the city of Warren, pay for our, membership, fee with the Arkansas Municipal League Defense Fund.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second, and that's $20,870.46.
Yes.
It's what you pay to defend yourself from all the lawsuits you get sometimes.
And all of the other benefits of it.
Well worth it.
Yes.
Got the motion and second, you got that? Any question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, approved.
Okay, the second item is that of the 2023 Christmas bonus and holiday pay. So if you'll look, at what was on the table, when we arrived today, I move that we approve the Christmas bonuses as listed. We have 24 individuals that, has been with the city, less than a year, and your council members and part-time individuals in the amount of $2,640. 1 year but less than 5 years, 22 at $200, $4,400. 5 years but less than 10 years, 9 at $300, $2,700. 10 years but less than 15, 1 individual at $400, and 15 years but less than 20 years, 2 at $500, which is 1,000. And 20 years and over, we have 4 employees at $600, giving a total of $2,400, giving a grand total to be paid $13,540, plus their FICA, $1,035.81, and retirement, $2,074.33. My motion is to approve the grand total of $16,650.14.
Second.
Motion's made, by Chairman Henderson, and seconded by Mr. Toll-Free. Question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. May continue.
Okay, and you have listed, as, well, it's listed as holiday pay for 2023 payable, in November, and this is, what we do, annually, and we certainly want to continue to do this because, we appreciate the work by, our, employees. Total $35,402.56, FICA $2,708.30. Retirement, $5,423.68 total. I move that $43,534.54 be approved.
It's second. Could we get that to them ASAP?
And we always
Black Friday?
ask that if all possible, be given to them, prior to Black Friday, so they know Black Friday is up.
We'll do our best. If we have the money, we'll see. Thank you, dude. All right, I got a motion and a second. Question or discussion on that motion? All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor. Thank you very much.
Okay, the next item is the solar power plan. We have had 2 presentations. We certainly, as a council, have not made a recommendation. However, I do have a motion. I move that the city of Warren move forward with exploring financing with savings that will guarantee either long or short term, where the city of Warren will own the facility with the Inflation Reduction Act, which is a credit called IRA, with allowable changes to be made under the law of the IRA, and that the funds will be funded back to the city of Warren general funds. That is my
That's
motion.
an appropriate motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so in a nutshell, we're talking about the city council making a decision here to pursue this based on owning it, not the, just paying for the company, another company owning it.
And not selecting anyone, but
Yeah,
giving us
correct.
to move forward so that we will be, ahead of the game.
Question or discussion? I did get a second, didn't I?
Yes,
Okay, I'm sorry. All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor. Thank you. 1 absent.
Okay, and, we ask at each of our, city council meetings, when the city, clerk gives the report, that you note those balances, because you're going from January up until, the point of the month. But just to give you the, information, we have $829,533.22 when we started out with the American Rescue dollars that we were so blessed to receive. We had a balance of $429,533.22 left. That is just for your information. We have started the budgeting process. We have not received the proposed budget. However, the committee have received what was budgeted in 2013, 2024, and the administration mayor's recommendation. I'm still highlighting, we will have, a meeting, and after we actually receive the proposed budget, as always, I will share it, with the, council. We, had, information as it related some of the department heads, requests, but that's just for your information. We, have on number 5, the Old Street, building. We asked that, quotes be, secured, and the administration informed us that in about 2 weeks, we will have, that information. Number 6, we must have a balanced budget for this year. That is normally done in the month of December, or it can be done at our meeting, in January. So as soon as that, is ready, then we can move forward with amending the 2023, budget. Property, insurance, we gave the administration the okay to move forward with checking with the Arkansas Municipal League as it related, our property insurance and other, insurance, as well. As I previously stated, the 2024 budget, proposed budget is being, worked upon. The committee will meet, probably several times before we, come to a conclusion of bringing a proposed budget to the city council. And lastly, I would like to share with you that we received, information relating, the city of Warren's insurance for our, employees, and we may have some elected officials that's, also on the insurance plan. There are actually 3 tiers. One is what we currently have, the traditional plan, the enhanced co-pay plan, and then the high deductible, health plan. After reviewing, the information, I did ask the mayor if he would, survey the employees to see if they would be interested in the enhanced plan. Did that happen?
We're in the process of getting that a written survey out to request.
Okay.
We have not got the results back, but we are getting it
Okay.
out.
And just reviewing, those 3 plans, it appears that the enhanced co-pay plan would be the best. The deductible is the same, it could be the same as the traditional plan of $500. However, you do have the option of $500, $1,200, and, $2,000. But we will, postpone making a recommendation until we get the survey back as to what the because it's dealing with them. And to answer the question, can an individual, select the traditional plan, or if they can, you have to do it as a group. So if, the employees want to remain where they are with the traditional plan, or if they want to go with the enhanced plan, we have to do it as a group plan. And we will, get that information and make a recommendation. And that ends my report.
Thank you, you did a good job of going through it fast. I think the information, Chairman Henderson, that we gave the committee has most of the line items filled in on the budget, but there are things like the insurance, for example, has gotta be, determined, you're right, plus some other things,
Just
so,
quite a bit more that has to be added. Because we had some things that was left over as it relates to the Warren Pool. Those employees, we did not look at anything when we enhanced the other, salary, so there are some other things as well.
okay.
That is my report.
All right, and, again, we'll try to get all our employees to give us their input on the insurance, and then we can go from there. Okay. Questions on anything for the chairman, anything she reported on, anything y'all need to,
On the comfort?
You did an exquisite job.
all right, exquisite, I like it. All right, now, we get to item 8, if I'm in the right place, Ports, Boards, Commissions, Parks and Recreation. Kyle Wagon was working tonight, but he's here. Kyle, they've got your report, and we do have Mr. Steve Haynes here with the AHFP, and I'll let you introduce him, but you got anything you want to report first?
I'm gonna give them a quick rundown and I'll let them talk. We're up for, this will be ordered, it's gonna give y'all some, I have heads up on pricing. We're gonna have to order some, kind of order new targets and stuff, that's shooting range. It's probably gonna be around $5,000. I'm just gonna give y'all a heads up. We have been ordering 2 years supply at a time, being in America, so we're gonna bump it down to 6 months, so it's not so much money out at once. And, I've got a couple water leaks going down the city park we're trying to find. We got this last week, and we got, kind of major leak at the complex from running the sprinkler system the last few weeks, watering grass out there, so probably gonna be a little bill on the plumbing on those two things, just to give y'all a heads up. And, that's really all, anything big. I'll, introduce Mr. Steve with AHF. He's nice to stick around. He wanted to talk about the
Steve, come on up, we made you sit through this whole thing.
I was gonna say, now you let me walk all the way through.
Go wherever you want to.
All right.
Steve's
What kind of
the
questions
plant
do you have?
manager, he's the plant manager out at HFP, and has been tremendous to us, working with us on the city park, especially on Martin Street. And Steve, you're making a proposal on the bridge.
I already made the proposal.
Yeah.
I'm just here to explain the proposal.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I work with one of the contractors here in Warren. And I'm sure a bunch of you heard the bridge is in pretty bad shape. So we went out and looked at it. And we can take a 42-foot flat trailer, just one you pull behind a truck, double axle. We'll cut all the axles and everything out from under, move the wooden bridges there now, get it out of the way, and just lay the flatbed trailer span the creek with. We're gonna have to level up, do a little bit of concrete work now, that we noticed today, where we would have had to do it down earlier before I level, do a little bit of work to level up the side and to break some in from where the water's washing out a little bit. And then we're just gonna take the two steel, build handrails and such. I proposed to the mayor and Kyle that we use Trex decking on the deck of the trailer instead of wood, so that way we ain't gotta worry about replacing it and it rotting. But that's an added cost, so it's up to you all what we use, whether we use treated lumber, Trex decking, either one. But really, that's just about it.
The proposal is your guys are willing to provide, your company to provide the trailer, work, put the work and put it in, and we're anticipating the city's cost of what all's gotta be purchased and everything to do it about.
10 to 15,000.
Yeah. Now, the Parks and Recreation Commission has approved this, but they don't have money, so that's why we have to come to y'all for that part.
I
And,
move that
we-
we refer it to the appropriate committee.
Well, we can, but I'm gonna recommend y'all move with it. Costs gonna go up.
You said 10 to 15,000, so, which one? So would we up to 15,000?
Say not to exceed 15,000, hope we can do it cheaper than that.
Yeah.
The bridge is dangerous.
Yeah.
We keep it wired together.
I move that we approve the bridge with funds up to $15,000,
Second.
or not to exceed 15,000.
Yes, ma'am, I got you. All right, motion's made and seconded, is there any question or discussion? Anybody, this has been and he's right, it's been talked about for a long time, not quite with y'all in that much detail, but the Parks and Rec again went over it in great
We should
detail.
have probably put it under one of those committees that have already met, the Community and Economic Development on Ways and Means, but call for the vote.
Any question, discussion?
I just wanna say we can go ahead and do this and what he suggested on that longer lasting material, cause if we don't, we're gonna be facing this again like we've had over the years.
But is the $15,000 going to cover that?
It's the Trex decking, if I remember, right around 2,500.
An additional,
No, that's in that, that's in the
that's
15.
in that,
Yeah,
it's
that's
within,
in
so
that.
it's up to 15,000 will take care of it. Call for the vote.
All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. And I also want to just publicly acknowledge, they have also gave us $1,000 just to use on the park. And I think the Parks and Recreation Commission, we had to do some work to the gazebo because it got a bunch of vandalism done to it, got about half of it kicked in. So we are getting that repaired, but we want to thank you for everything y'all done for us.
For the community too.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Kyle, let's see if I got any other questions for you. His written report is in here, council members. Any questions? It's on something else. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on here. Thank y'all. Planning Commission has not met since the last meeting. Aviation has not, but they got things in the works. Water and sewer, you've got their commission, minutes and their finances. Just for your information, Housing Authority, you got their minutes. They have had a meeting. That's all there for information. Cultural Center, of course, there's nothing going on out there, but it's still, still there. We're working on things. Unfinished business, we'll be, probably after the first of the year, we trying to come back to you with proposals on these roofs. New business is none.
Oh, I had a question.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Yes,
So where are we going to pull the funds for the 15,000?
we'll probably pull it out of our economic
That's what I was
development
thinking.
funding,
Yeah.
because that's legal and
And
permissible.
I should
Yeah.
probably have.
That's a good point, that should have, yes.
Should have included that with the motion.
I'll count take that, if that's all right. That's what we're, by common consent, yes ma'am. Thank you, good point, good point. All right, announcements, just for everybody's information, municipal building, this building will be closed for Thanksgiving, November 22nd and 23rd, 2 days. Garbage in the city will be collected both days. Our sanitation workers prefer to do it that way, of course, they get paid extra for doing it.
But the citizens love it.
They're gonna you get your garbage will run both days. Christmas parade, we're back, that's not till December, but just remind everybody of that. And then, in observance of Christmas, I know I'm ahead of schedule, but I want everybody to understand this. Again, we'll be closed down, Monday, December the 25th, which is Christmas Day. City gets 2 days off, so the 26th will be closed. There will be no garbage pickup on the 25th, Christmas Day, but we will pick it up on Tuesday the 26th. So just regular routes, and of course the commercial, routes. And then council members, if you're wanting to go to the 2024 Municipal League Winter Conference, set for January the 10th through the 12th of 2024. If you hadn't already registered, you need to let the city clerk's office know so we can get you registered in for that if you plan to attend. And then you have got the bills for the month of October.
I move that we pay the bills for October.
Got a second off, and Atkins, was that you?
Yes.
Okay, motion is made and seconded to approve the bills. You got 2 or 3 pages there of stuff. Any question on anything? All in favor of approval, show of hands, please. I see 4 in favor, 2 absent. That is sufficient. And the next, city council meeting is set for December. The agenda meeting should be on the 7th. That's, to set the agenda, and the council meeting on Monday the 11th.
Move that we adjourn with the new, Robert's rules, so you don't have to do that. The mayor just says stuff.
Oh, really?
That's what the deal with this, definition says.
I guess I might need to read that though. It may be all kinds of things I do I don't know about in there.
It's different.
All right, well then we'll, meeting adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you for bringing it on.
Student council, thank y'all.